They called my name last. Number 1001, Hiroshi. That's all they said. No clan name, no accolades. Just a number and a first name, like I was a mistake they forgot to erase. There were supposed to be only 1,000 genin accepted this year. The ceremony was even labeled Shinobi Centennial Induction. But when my name echoed across the courtyard, everyone turned to look, not because they knew me, but because they didn't. I stepped forward in silence. Not even the instructors knew who I was. My file was thin. No registered clan, no record of parents. Just my academy scores, which were above average, too above average, perfect in fact. But no one had ever seen me train. They called it a clerical error, said I must have slipped through somehow, but no one stopped me. I was assigned to Team 17, a team that didn't exist until the last minute. I remember standing there when they introduced us, 3 forgotten faces in a system that never meant to remember us. Katsuro, a taijutsu prodigy with uncontrollable rage, expelled twice from the academy for breaking another student's jaw, and later, their ribs. Minako, top of the written exams, but with no chakra affinity, a walking contradiction. Her genjutsu potential baffled even the instructors, but she never once cast a single illusion in class. And me, I had no known elemental chakra type, no signature jutsu. And yet somehow, I passed every stealth, survival, and combat test with surgical precision. I could memorize entire jutsu scrolls in a glance, analyze an enemy's chakra pattern by instinct, and strike pressure points I was never taught about. No one questioned me, not to my face, but behind my back, I heard it whispered again and again. He's not one of us. Our Jonin sensei was Hagane, an older shinobi who never spoke unless it mattered. His left eye was glass. His right eye saw everything. You 3 are mistakes, he said on the first day. But sometimes the system's errors produce weapons no one saw coming. That's what we're going to find out. We didn't get the bell test. We didn't even get a chance to prove ourselves in front of others. Hagan took us beyond the village walls on the first day. We'll either die, he said, or you'll learn what it means to be shinobi. And that's when I first saw it. In the forest, we were ambushed by rogue bandits. Nothing special, just desperate men with stolen blades and no chakra to speak of. Katsuro charged ahead like a bull, fists flying. Minako froze, and I moved before I could think. My body reacted like it had done this 1,000 times. I blinked and I was behind them, my kunai already drawn. The first 2 fell before they could scream. The third tried to run, but collapsed, choking on his own shadow. Hagan stared at me after the fight. Who taught you that? He asked. I don't know, I answered. It just felt familiar. He didn't ask again, but I caught him watching me more closely after that. In the weeks that followed, I began noticing things. I wasn't just reacting to danger, I was anticipating it. Before an arrow was fired, I'd already shifted my weight. Before someone's chakra flared, I'd turned toward it, and sometimes I heard whispers. Not outside, inside. Not words, not voices, just echoes. Echoes of memory. Then came the mission that changed everything. A simple escort from Konoha to a border village. No signs of enemy presence, no complications, or so we were told. At the edge of the forest near the fire border, we were ambushed. But this time, it wasn't bandits. These were shinobi, masked, silent, organized. Anbu, number, something darker. They didn't use hand signs. Their chakra signatures felt wrong, unstable, and decaying. They moved like puppets, controlled. We barely survived. Katsuro lost 2 fingers. Minako unleashed a genjutsu that made our enemies tear their own eyes out, but collapsed from exhaustion immediately. I activated something. I don't know what to call it. My vision blurred, my pupils sharpened like pinpricks. I saw everything. I saw the flow of their chakra. I saw the flaw in their movements. I saw how to kill them. In 5 seconds, it was over. 6 corpses lay at my feet. When I turned around, Hagane was watching me, not with suspicion this time, with fear. He didn't speak to me the rest of the trip. That night, as we returned to the village, I couldn't sleep. My fingers trembled. I couldn't tell if it was adrenaline or something else. That's when I felt it, a pain behind my eyes, burning, tearing. I ran to the river to wash my face and froze. My reflection, red eyes, black tomo, the Sharingan. I didn't tell anyone about the Sharingan, not Minako, not Katsuro, not even Hagane. I spent hours by the river that night, staring at my reflection, watching the tomoi spin, fade, reappear. It was unstable, like me. I didn't know how to control it. I didn't even know how I'd awakened it, but I knew what it meant. I was an Uchiha, somehow, some way. Even though my file said unknown bloodline, even though I'd never known my parents, even though I had no memory of any clan, any massacre, any fire, somewhere in me, that blood was alive. The next morning, I expected Hagane to call me out. Instead, he sent us on another mission. But not just any mission. We were summoned directly by the Hokage's office. Escort mission, again, but this time to a classified location near the ruins of the Uchiha district. Katsuro scoffed at the assignment. Minako tensed. I just nodded. On the way, Hagane finally spoke. "You've felt it, haven't you?" I didn't answer. "That weight behind your eyes," he continued. "The hunger, the truth clawing its way out." Still, I stayed quiet. He stopped walking. The trees were still. "You activated it, didn't you?" Silence. He sighed. "Then I suppose it's time you knew what you really are." We camped near a waterfall that night. Hagane sat us down. "Team 17 was never supposed to exist," he said. "You weren't chosen. You were assigned because the village didn't know what else to do with you." He turned to me. "You, especially." I didn't move. "You were found as a baby in the aftermath of the Uchiha massacre, hidden inside a storage room, eyes sealed, chakra suppressed, with a forbidden seal we didn't recognize. Not even the third Hokage could explain it. Some believed you were just a child of a civilian the Uchiha protected, but some of us," he looked directly at me, "believed you were one of them." The memory of that night came rushing back. The blood, the screams, the coldness, not from experience, but from something deeper, a fragment, a boy, crying, alone, a hand on his head, a voice whispering, "Forgive me." The next morning we reached the ruins. That's when it happened. We weren't alone. I felt him before I saw him. An oppressive silence fell over the air, like the wind itself had stopped moving. Then he stepped from the shadows. Itachi Uchiha, older, taller, eyes like blood and smoke. Katsuro reached for his kunai. Minako started a genjutsu, but froze mid-sentence. They were both unconscious before they even hit the ground. Itachi didn't look at them, just me. "You've grown," he said. I couldn't move. My legs were stone. He walked closer, slowly. like death wearing sandals. You shouldn't exist, he murmured. You weren't supposed to survive. My mouth finally worked. You knew about me? He nodded. I did more than know. I spared you. He told me everything. I was a child of a minor Uchiha branch family, one that never awakened the Sharingan. We were nobodies, ghosts within the clan. But Itachi saw something in me. He saw how my eyes would one day awaken, too late for the coup, but too soon for the peace. So he sealed my chakra, locked my memories, and left me hidden during the massacre. I thought the world would be better without another one of us, he said. But you refused to stay buried. I activated my Sharingan, this time, willingly. I'm not going to die without answers, I growled. You already have the answer, he said. He raised his hand. Now I'll give you rest. The world turned red. Tsukuyomi. 7 days of torment in a single second. He didn't torture me, not like the stories said. Instead, he showed me memories, his own, the night of the massacre, the blood, the tears, the pain in his father's voice, the trembling in his mother's hands. Sasuke's small face burned into his soul. He showed me that he wasn't a villain. He was the only one willing to carry the burden of peace through hell. And now I was a loose thread in his carefully woven tragedy. When I came to, I was lying by the waterfall again, my team still unconscious, my body broken, my arms shattered, my ribs cracked, one eye sealed shut. A scroll lay beside me. On it, a single sentence: there is no place for us. Minako and Katsuro never remembered what happened. The Hokage deemed the mission incomplete due to natural causes. No one ever spoke of Team 17 again. I left the village weeks later under the cover of night, a missing nin, a ghost. I wandered for years, not out of vengeance, not for power, but because I couldn't understand why I was left alive. Only now do I think I know. Because Itachi wanted me to see it all, the truth, the cycle, the curse, and live long enough to break it. But I couldn't, because now I can no longer see it all.